Hello, hello. If you've seen Fury, you knew this was coming. Welcome to Cairn. This is nothing like Fury, but it is made by the same people. Cairn is a game about mountain climbing. You play the role of a girl named Ava, well, a woman named Ava, whose objective is to climb Mount Kami. This is a very big mountain. It's a very mean mountain. Not like the Celeste mountain is mean. Like, it's got spiky rocks on it and stuff, and if you fall, it hurts. Now, already on my channel, I have a few full attempts at free solo, which is the difficulty setting, the game mode, where you do not use any support ropes. You do not use pittons, you do not have checkpoints. You fall, you die, you're done. And as you'll see here in a second, I got very, very close to the end. And then these were all Twitch streams back when the game first came out. And so I did not end up trying again. Now, for today, I want to get back into this. I want to re-experience this game. However, I do not want to die 2 hours in and be frustrated with it, because at the time when I was doing my free solo runs, I was much more skilled at the game. I knew the routes. I knew, like, I had planned out routes, and it was recent. It was close enough to the release date that there weren't existing strategies for free solo. And so what I would like to do is I'll occasionally bring up my notes that I have from when I first did my free solo runs, and they'll serve as a bit of a guide for where I need to go and when. I basically have a route planned most of the way up. Once you get to the summit area is where I've only been there once on free solo, so I never took good notes. But anyway, I don't want to die and lose all my progress. So we're going to do a playthrough here on Alpinist. I imagine it'll take around 7 hours. And then once that's done, I would like to reapproach a free solo playthrough. You'll probably notice that I don't use pittons as much as is probably advised. That's just because of my experience in free solo. I got used to not using them. But just for the sake of having, like, save points, we might as well do it on Alpinist. That way, if I make a mistake, if I die, it's not GG. So, that being said, let me get us rolling here. There we go. Okay. And this was my start to my last free solo attempt. You can see it was March 1st. But there you go. 7 hours, 45 minutes. I fell 8 times and finally died right at the top. Compared to my other free solo attempts, you can see that it was significantly farther. So, anyway, we are going to be doing a new ascent on Alpinist. No tutorials. I actually was reviewing the controls the other day, just so I wouldn't be completely clueless. So,
was
story time.
to touch eternity for an instant. To reach one of those rare moments of bliss, where everything seems in its place and you feel you're part of a whole. Do you know what I mean?
I do. I know exactly what she means.
Hey, Climbot, go ahead, answer.
Hey, Ava, it's Chris. Do you ever pick up the phone?
Hi, Chris. Sorry. Look, I've not
really got a whole lot of time to chat right now.
Absolutely. Just touching base to say we're good to go here. And I gotta tell you, we're all fired up. Rooting for you to become the first human to set foot on the summit of Kami.
Yeah, sure. Okay, gotta go. Just call me back. Come on, Climbot. I'm ready. Let's do this.
Also, subscribe to Book Club Radio. Alright, moving on. This is Ava. Ava is a sort of, not to use a brand name, but there's a concept of like a child celebrity that was sort of raised through an industry. Say a Disney baby, something like that. Nickelodeon kids back in the like early 2000s. And so when she talks about wanting to be part of a whole, she's just kind of been, I don't know, pushed along, pulled along, and it's hard. I don't know what that's like in particular, but I do know what it's like to feel like you are an island. You are on your own, that you're not really a part of something, right? A part of a community, a part of a goal, a mission. It's just like you're just there. Like you're not even steering your own ship. We'll get into that. We got a lot of mountain to talk about that. But, oh, that's right. This isn't even the actual mountain, so let's just go ahead and get started. There's some stuff you can explore down here. There's some items you can get, but really, we can just get going. So, you place your feet, or you place your limbs one at a time, and it has a pretty sophisticated stamina and, like, weight distribution and physics system. So, you want to have 4 limbs on the wall in order to have maximum stability, but I think always, unless you're bracing, which you can only do in certain parts, you'll only have 3 limbs attached, while the 4th one seeks the next hold. You can, if something is not within your reach. So say I wanted to grab that corner there. If you have any slack in your limbs, like her left leg, you can keep pushing here and she'll let go with her right leg. However, you need to grab as quickly as possible because you're now only supported by 2 limbs while you're doing that. Like so. It's more important to have your hands on than it is your feet because they, well, I guess I can't really say that, but your feet are more specific than your hands. The hands are more versatile. They can kind of grab onto just about anything. But you'll notice I'm targeting the hard edges, right? Like you can see her fingers curl when she actually gets a good hold on something. And like her right hand there, that was not a good hold, so I might select that and try again. Most of the time, the limb selection is going to be automatic. There might be strategies now where people don't do that, but I don't know those. So, I'll shut up for a minute. Let's get up this wall. What I like so much about Cairn is how meditative it can be. You start to get in this groove, and Ava will talk about it later on, but it really is just you and the mountain at that point. You're looking for the next hold. And I mean, obviously the physical strain that it puts on your body would just make it all the more of a, like, you know how like running becomes meditative? I imagine it's something like that. Now, I personally have bouldered before, which is rock climbing, but unsupported and on very small, like a couple meters, maybe a few meters up. You normally fall down onto padding.
Who's it now? Chris? Naomi?
But I'm petrified of heights,
I'll take
so
care of it later.
I would never be doing this willingly. Or unwillingly, more than likely. I'd just pass out and fall off the wall. I have tried, though. I have tried. I make it up about 20 or 30 feet, and then you just kind of lose control over your body at that point. So that combined with vertigo, which is when you get very dizzy upon seeing that you're up high, yeah, it's just not a good time. So anyway, fortunately Ava doesn't get that. So I'm thinking let's just hop up here. We're not even on Cami yet, so you'll notice that stamina meter goes down when I'm just fast walking. You can also run, but only for a very short period, I imagine, because she has, you know, a backpack that weighs as much as a child. Like, she's got a tent in there, she's got the cooking equipment, she's got all of the ropes and pittons are on the outside, she's got that staff with a light on it, she's got probably some kind of maintenance equipment for Climbot, which is the little robot that follows me around and handles my pittons. Speaking of pittons, here's an example of that. So, if you miss with a pitton, it makes it so that when it gets recovered, it's going to be broken. But, as long as you get it into the wall, you can do this. And now I just, you know, we just chill, right? The stamina system in this is very opaque, but what you'll find is that Ava's breathing tends to indicate how her stamina is doing. You can look at your route and see what your stamina levels are, and you can see it's been fine so far, but like right there was a little bit weaker. There might have been somewhere over here where I lost a little bit more. Yeah. So right here, I think this is when I was talking about, or no, it's not when I reached for the corner. I don't know, maybe because I was stretched out so much reaching up there. I'm not sure, but you'll know when it starts getting close to her slipping, and you absolutely can slip. I mean, that's how you die. So, anyway, now if I were to fall off like an idiot... Oh, okay, well, apparently she wasn't ready to catch herself there, but... Oh, right, you can hold the rope. Usually, the off-belay will catch you, or not the off-belay, but the rope will catch you before you hit the ground. I guess I'm just not high enough here.
Perfect.
And that's all handled by Climbot, because I think in reality, when people do this, you have to have a second person to handle your belay system. Sorry, my cat's being silly. Alright, up we go. One thing that I tend to be bad about... Oh,
Bring
right.
me the pittons.
My rope will run out if I don't make the robot go get it. Here he comes. So he picked up that piton, but since it was twisted, I think it's going to be broken when he gives it to me. Yeah.
Cool, thanks.
So it's scrapped. Whenever I'm at my tent, there's a way to repair them. And here is our first cairn. These aren't all that important, but you can have a little rest at them. And just kind of look around. This is a beautiful game. You can see it's the same engine as Fury. You can tell based on the cell shading around Ava's body. I guess you could say, lack of occlusion in the shadows is indicative of the Fury engine as well. But then they've also got this, I don't know if it's watercolor for the sky. Just looks really good. Looks really, really good. Alright, Ava. Moving on. So, here's where you can see a nice little trick. So, take a breath. We try not to do that too much. It's safer with pittons, though. That was one of the things that chat would give me hell for when I was doing my free solo runs. Now, I will say, because that does sound kind of dumb, I never lost a free solo run to a running jump like that. My free solo runs were lost at very specific places that are actually very difficult to handle. Alright, so this is a good time to explain chalk. If you find yourself struggling to hold on, or if you find yourself draining stamina too quickly, you can use chalk to sort of give yourself some extra, like, stamina, I guess, recovery. Not recovery, but, like, the speed that it depletes is much slower. And so, at that particular time, we can look at it on the map, my hand started shaking because her feet couldn't grab onto this right here. So, I dropped down, put her feet right there, and we keep going. Now, note that if I didn't have a piton in the wall and I fell right there, that would have hurt. Wouldn't have killed me. Probably only like a quarter of my health, but would have hurt. Okay, we're still on Tutorial Island here. So let's go ahead and get up this rock, and then I'll see you guys up there.
Great.
There is one other mechanic I forgot about where she can,
Are you
like, take
ready
a
for
break
Cammy?
and blow on her fingers and shake them off. That's like a mid-climb quick way to reduce stamina, or recover stamina. But it only works a couple times. Okay, let's do it. But a good time to use it would have been right after I applied chalk there, but I didn't want to explain it. Okay. This is crazy. I remember the first time I played this, I saw that we were doing this, and I was like, that is so fucking cool.
Play the message.
Hey, it's Naomi. Just making sure you got this before you're too high up. I wanted to say, be careful. You know I always worry. Watch for the snakes, the drops, the loose holds, the cold, your food supply, and so on and so forth. Also to say that I'm always with you, you know? She says from her couch. Anyways, that's all I had, sweetie. Hang in there.
Good thing you don't know about the bears. You wouldn't have let me leave.
And there's a sort of quiet commentary on the forced connectedness of modern society, how technology kind of creates this expectation of constant availability, which is something that I've both struggled with and resented on occasion. Well, not even on occasion, I do resent it. And so, when Abba's out here doing this solo meditative activity and she's interrupted by things which are distracting and very well could endanger her,
Hey, you up?
I get it. I get where she's coming from.
Time to go. Could you also pack up the tent, please?
You also love to see people saying please to a robot.
All right, let's start from here.
So, obviously we are tenting off of the side of a rock here. And as long as I don't put a piton down, falling here would mean bye-bye. So, this is certainly a good way to introduce you to free solo. But there is, and you'll hear it in the music, a very heavy theme of just solitude, serenity. Not so much escape as just, I don't know. It's very meditative. It's very good for just kind of...
Let's do this.
I mean, you can avoid thinking about problems. You can just focus on the mountain. But also, you can sit and think and let the fatigue temper your anxiety while you're grappling with things. It's sort of like how people work out when they get angry. Or, well, I shouldn't say they work out when they're angry, but they vent their anger while working out, while doing a hard deadlift, for example. And you would be going through much of the same experience here. Ava is obviously an introvert. You'll come to find that a lot of the people that she interacts with are not. And it creates a bit of friction. Because to people who aren't introverted, it's difficult to understand why introverts act the way they do. It's easy to feel rejected by someone who simply this is their comfort. It's a big mountain. This will be the last time you see the slope or the summit for several hours. But we're gonna get there. See the waterfalls. See that tram station up there. Somewhere way up there is an ancient temple, too. We'll get there. But for now, we'll focus on what's in front of us. You have 5 different stats that, well, she has base values that you can't see, but you can increase them with food. And so we'll get around to that once I have some ingredients. You can also infuse your water bottle, which she'll always have one water bottle on her hip that you can hit while you're climbing. You can infuse it with herbs, chocolate, milk, maybe not milk, but... and you can also cook with it. All of those products will raise your stats. The pipistrelle, yep, they'll spook you. These guys have milk, and the pikas. Oh yeah, and a missing hiker. There are areas...
Where do I start?
There are areas of Cami that have literally no sign of life on them. Whether it's because the people that got there have died, or because no one's gotten there. There will very rarely be direct sources of water like this. I think she's talking to bees there. Yeah, so if you have... Whoops, I called Climbot by accident. So if you have... This is your backpack, obviously. If you have any bottles, which this is one I picked up at the gym, then you can fill them with water. Otherwise, you have your hip flask, which is this right here. Or I call it a hip flask. It's your quick access water. Oh yeah, and you can compost things that you don't need in your bag. For example, this camera that I was probably supposed to do things with, Abba was, and yeah, got broken. Okay, and also the extra pittons I'm going to scrap because I won't be using them. You can reorganize your bag for the sake of space efficiency. I usually do this with the mouse when I'm on free solo because this bag is like probably half the width in free solo. I don't even think about that difference, honestly. It just kind of became part of it for me. So we'll hit this as a save point, and then this will be the first time that I want to reference my notes. I'll pop them up for just a second, just in case anyone wants to read them, and then I'll go back to looking at them myself. So there they are, and here they go. So first we're going to be heading left. It says after bridge. I believe it is referring to the walkway we just went across. So yeah, okay, yeah, I remember this. So we head over, not exactly here necessarily, but we're trying to go up this rock here. Yeah, this is fine. When it comes to... I don't remember what I was going to say. Never mind. I was simultaneously thinking about how I could go down there and demonstrate the tent, but we'll have plenty of opportunities for that. Now, typically my, method for Let's Plays is to have my monologue going pretty much at all times. I feel like that's the only way to differentiate yourself from other channels. But with this one, I also think it's important to just sort of appreciate the arduous nature of what's being done. Appreciate how difficult it would be to pull your body up this many times in a row. And also, very, very slight gore warning here because she's going to look at her hands. But you can see that her hands will get damaged over time. You can wrap them up. That's another thing to keep in mind while she's climbing, is what that experience would be like. What's the other thing? I don't care about that bottle. I have in my notes to grab that bottle for some reason, but I don't need it. Hang on. Oh, yeah, and then... I'm guessing that fell from up there, actually. Never thought about it. I tend to forget this, but if you want to conserve your energy, and save time, probably, it's better to walk up these things. Oof, that was almost bad.
Hey Arthur, this is Chris.
Hello, Chris.
So, do you ever respond to voicemail?
Nope.
We have no way to know your location. And the sponsors are breathing down my neck. I've been waiting for pictures forever. Can you at least confirm you've taken a few? It's hard enough for them to advertise your performance without any images. But if on top of that you're not giving any news, you know they'll start foaming at the mouth. Anyway, get back to me when you have a chance. I hope everything's okay, and my messages aren't making you angry. No need to deny it, I'm starting to know you. I'm just trying to do a decent job, is all.
Oh, you're gonna be so mad when you find out what I did to that camera.
The camera that I just composted. Oops. Wrong limb, out of... Wrong limb. Wrong... Okay, whatever. Okay, get that. Go side to side here. Up, up, up. And you may think that some of these, positions that she gets into where she's contorting her body around are completely unrealistic and might even look like Quap-like, if you've ever heard of the game Quap. But no, if you watch actual rock climbers, they do this shit. It's crazy. Little words of encouragement in case you're having a hard time. Got a little 11-year-old already made it up here. But at the same time, what the hell is an 11-year-old doing on this mountain? Little flowers like that are good for water and tea infusions. There's another save point. That's a tired climb bot.
Oh, look at you. Your circuits are frozen. Where did you come from? All the way up there? And you're getting back down? By yourself?
What was that hiker's name? Anita?
All right, let's go. There's nothing we can do for him. We'll see if we can pick him up on the way back. Poor bag of bolts.
Fair box. Freeze-dried veggies, you can see in the backpack they take up a decent amount of room, but once they're cooked they take up a lot more room, so we try to avoid using those until we're ready to eat, basically. Here, let me use the mouse so you can see how that works. There we go. And so now that one's loose. Do something like this. No, how about that? Yeah, that'll work. You can do this as often as you want. It's its own little mini game. But in free solo, it's a lot more important because what I have here right now would be, I think, just about full if we were doing free solo. So, anyway, these raw materials like this are always very weird shaped. Sorry, I'll try not to linger too long on that. I believe forward to broken climb bot, bear box. There weren't any gummies in there, were there? I thought there's usually gummies in this box. Huh. I wonder why there weren't. What was there instead? I think it was the curry strip. Maybe that's just something I never noticed, that it's random. Because I very much remember getting energy gummies from there. They're really not that good, though. They just give you a minimal amount of hunger. But then, yes, my notes say after that to go to the small cave, which I believe I can see over here. Can I? Oh, I can walk that way. Hang on. Let me work my way back down here. And let me tell you, the number of times in free solo that I had to go back down a wall, that's why it took 8 hours, is because you can't, like, there's no ropes. Like, right now, I could screw a piton into the wall and rappel down, and it'd be no problem. But in free solo, you have to climb. So, but you get used to it. I say you get used to it, you get used to being stressed. Okay. Up we go. I'll see you guys up there.
Arthur.
I'm avoiding that water just in case it makes me slip. I don't know if it will. Come on, Arthur. Okay, whatever. There we go. I think her foot got a hold on it. Tiny holds like this are actually like the best holds to have. They have the best grip. Chalk up. Shake it off. Keep going. These you can kind of employ a specific technique. You literally just climb them like a ladder. Oops.
Come on.
Okay. Maybe brace against the wall here. These are very precarious positions, but they're more stable than they look. You see her arms are shaking a lot more. That's not because I'm climbing inefficiently.
Finally.
You just... There's only so much your stamina will recover the longer that you're on a wall. There you go. That's the top of our next one. More water.
Huh. Reminds me of Capsule and our couch.
Okay. How about that? You know what this would be really good for is, like, I've seen that there are people that do, like, gaming streams that are supposed to be coupled with ASMR, if you know what that is. I don't normally watch those, but, like, soft-spoken gaming playthroughs. I think this game would be perfect for that. Alright, let me stop being distracted and pay attention. Oh, and I didn't mention, the reason you compost things is not just to get rid of the garbage, but because Climbot turns it into chalk. So that's why I'm kind of able to liberally use my chalk here, even though I only have 3 of them. Alright, let's calm down for a second. You'll see she starts shaking while she is... hang on. Yeah, there's something not ideal happening here. Now that was pretty close, actually, to her falling. You know, I seem to recall this spot giving me issues in the past. We'll look at how close that was in a minute. But what's the other option here? That is not safe. Here. Let's just go down a wee bit here. There we go. I kind of made her slip there. Get it right there. Come on. Okay, fine. There. Since I believe the stamina calculations are physics-based, based on like Ava's center of mass, center of gravity, there are some times where she drains very quickly that don't necessarily make sense on the outside. Like when your limbs are all really close together, your center of mass is protruded from the wall, so it is disproportionately torquing your hands off of the wall. Whereas if you're flat up against it, also your feet, when you're very close together and your butt is off of the wall, your feet are basically pushing you off the wall. So, that's my understanding of that. Okay, let's hit the tent. I don't know how you say this word. I've always said bivouac, so that's what I'm going to continue to say. I forgot about this.
Play the message.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alpha. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Alpha. I hope you remember to take candles over there and a cake. Give me that, Rosie. Sorry, Alpha. We figured we could still celebrate your birthday with or without you here. I think Rosie had a few pints already. You wouldn't believe how much she can handle. Anna's here too. Oh, and Tommy. Sure you heard him singing off key. Anyway, hugs and kisses. Hope you're enjoying your birthday, wherever you are. And I hope you're thinking about us, okay?
Such a goofy bunch. Happy birthday, Alva.
Oh, I never noticed that. She blows out the radio like a candle. Okay, so this is inside the tent. You can look at your bag, you can fix your fingers. I know it says excellent condition. I think there might be a bit of, yeah, the bleeding under the bandages. That's a sign of wear. That's a scar. That one doesn't go away. Same as the one on the bottom there. But yeah, this blood is a sign of fatigue. But certainly not enough for me to, and it even says at the top it's maximal grip. You'll know when it starts getting bad. But cook. Cooking is pretty straightforward. How much hunger do I have right now? Oops. So I need like 2/3 of my hunger back. It's probably a good time to use this. Cook it with Yeah, just this water's fine. Try to use your water that's not in your flask. Yeah, there you go. So it looks like 30 per third there, so you have a total of 90. It's probably a total of 100. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and eat this. You could also see a timer on there. That's how long the food stays hot. After that goes away, you don't get the boost to your body temperature. And like I said, these are much bigger when they're cooked, so it's better to keep them down. I don't remember what each of these do, but let's go ahead and infuse the water with some gentian. Improves focus. Does it? It says it improves focus. I don't see a stat boost on there, but... Pit and repair. Oh, I don't even have the scraps. What happened to those scraps? I thought Climbot gave me scraps. Okay, whatever. Okay, grab this. Let's see, I've got one more in there. Compost. A lot of the things will leave trash as you use them, which you can compost. Yeah, see, this is focus, right? But the gentian infusion is not doing that. Weird. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's the start of day 2, I guess? Okay. I already checked my notes a bit ago. We're going left. That was interesting. Definitely a bug. Haven't seen that before. Okay. So I want to get to that rope. Which means it's time for this again. Very rarely you will just royally screw that up and she'll just land like shaking already. That's not good. You don't want that. You want to have as much control over your breathing as possible. I want to be going left here, so let's just keep that in mind. I don't like that landscape, so, or that, you know, mountainscape. Oh, there is a little one right there. There you go. There we go.
Great.
There we go. If you say so. We gotta be heading left. But I think you do it. This? Realistic. Promise. There used to be this show called Ninja Warrior, which was just an extremely physically demanding obstacle course, and people competed to see who could finish it most quickly. There was one particular obstacle in there where you just had, like, a ball hitch hanging from the ceiling, and you had to hold yourself up, and basically use multiple of those ball hitches as monkey bars. Well, that hurt. That's what I get for talking. And I think that's gonna probably happen a few times while on this run, just because of it being a Let's Play and me narrating as we go and all that. But obviously in free solo, that would have been the end of the run. So we'll try this again. Maybe I won't distract myself with such important conversations. I almost got off on a tangent about engineering physics and how electric current creates a magnetic field and how it translates to rotational force within a motor. But fortunately, I resisted that. But anyway, so to avoid what happened last time, we need to get over here. And I think maybe it'll be easier to get over there right now instead of waiting until we get up to the top. There we go. Oh, right, Ninja Warrior. Like these little divots that she's grabbing, but protruding outward instead. And so the muscles in these people's hands is just insane. And the endurance that they have to handle the pain of dangling from just their fingers, crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let me think about this for a second. The feet get kind of sketchy because there will be a lot of situations where your hands are in relatively stable positioning, but your feet can't get a hold beneath you. And so you have a few options, but none of them are great. The primary option is to put your feet on less than suitable slopes and just kind of scramble your way up, but then you're at risk of slipping. So it's something you have to learn how to feel out. We're not going up just yet because we have a cave to visit, which is back this way. Maybe here. It's kind of hard to tell, but this slope actually isn't that bad, so you can just kind of scramble up it. Yeah, basically, and I think this is a trait of humans on an instinctive level. You can grasp with your hands. It's one of the first things that infants learn how to do. And basically you just lock your hand shut. And as long as you can tolerate the pain, you can hold yourself pretty much 100% with that. And so when you see her fold her hand around a corner like that, it's a very good hold. And I believe we get that from back when we were apes in order to hold on to our mothers. Not so necessary nowadays. Okay. Fix my limbs. The problem is when you get in situations where you need to fix your limbs and you don't have time to look at them like that. That's typically when you fall. Yeah, see, that's not ideal. That's the least realistic thing that happens, and I don't talk about my education too much, but obviously engineering. I know pretty much every area of computer science on a basic graduate level. So graphics in this case, All I was going to say is I know the graphics calculations for Collision are all vector-based and very well established, but when it comes to expanding on graphics on a fundamental level, like a physics-based climbing game, you will see issues like that where the limb simply has to cut into the wall. Because they haven't quite figured out how to rotate the leg out and put the knee facing a different direction. They'll get there. Anyway, Brave Cave.
Forget about me, okay? Give me some news. Anything. I'm really not asking for much.
And some dude was on the radio there, I don't know, wasn't listening. That's an illegal injector, but we can use it. And if you have seen my Fury playthrough, you'll recognize this as the soundtrack for The Song, which is one of the boss's names.
I need to worry about noise complaints from these ones.
Might as well. You can't take the fireworks on free solo. It isn't gonna work. But there's something else over here. Is that it? Yeah, that's what I want. Yellow yak. Man, keep hitting the wrong button. And I'll show you something that you would not do in free solo because you can't rappel. I have climbed down here in free solo. I mean, just look at the walls. You can tell it's not ideal. Oh yeah, turn the light on. And hello, who are you?
The mountain doesn't forgive mistakes.
Sure doesn't. Shame they didn't get to drink that booze. Must have hit pretty hard. Oh, actually, you can... Ooh. You could actually see that their neck was at least broken. I don't know if it was severed or not. There we go. You almost can't even reach that one. Oh, I guess if I had repelled from right here, it might have worked better. Alright, let's go. It's rain time. Rain is one of the several hazards that you can encounter. Obviously, it makes the wall slippery. And so what you should see is water running over her hands whenever she is actually in danger of, like, whenever she's being affected by rain, I should say. And so right now, I don't actually think it's affecting her climbing, unless it's like a graphics setting that I have turned off, which would be unintentional. I could have eaten while I was in there. Well, I guess I could eat anytime. There you go. I just saw water running off of her hand there for a second. But yeah, that little mini rant I went on about graphics is just like saying basically that graphics is an ongoing development. We're always improving them, and so there's always going to be new issues that are encountered. When I taught, when I was a TA for graphics in grad school, my professor would harp on that regularly. He was also the data visualization guy, and that is also something that's always evolving. But it's interesting how you can translate things like art, visual... Sorry, she's being weird. Hang on. There we go. Typically, if you get both of your hands on flat surface, she'll pull herself up. But yeah, graphics, data viz, that's always under development. Probably always will be. Oh yeah, letters from Roberto to Gabriel. I don't know if they were partners or what, but I believe they started climbing the mountain at different times, and Roberto is quite concerned about Gabriel. Maybe he's heading up to look for him. I don't remember. Let's see, we're a little bit bloodier, but still haven't lost any grip. Let's cook some more food. I could do more noodles, right? And cook them in some tea this time. Some herbal nudes. Yeah, herbal nudes got me... Oh, I think they just give me stamina back. That's your trade-off there. Make some... Ah, dang it. I meant to back out of that. Sorry. A little bit of raspberry tea. Oh, it's extra sweet. Interesting. Well, I was hoping it would give me some food, so I guess I'll store it for now. It's a shame. I should have done that in my large infusion. But the infusion isn't actually doing anything right now, so I'm going to put some thistle in here. There we go. Now it gives me grip. Now, as far as food goes, I do still need to get some of that. I saved the chocolate. I haven't really mentioned that, but yeah, I saved the chocolate intentionally. Oh, it's booze. That's right. I've never tried this, actually, cooking veggies in booze. Not in real life, of course, but in this game. Flambé, that's right. When you cook with booze, it flambés it. Yeah, and it gives me a full bar of health, so... Or, hunger. Perfect. Okay. That's probably plenty. No pit and repair to be done. Let's go. So from here, I believe we're just heading straight up. According to my notes, there is a med center somewhere around here. Is that what this is? Probably, is it? Maybe that's what I mean by med center, is there's a med kit inside of it. Now, how do I get up there? Because I remember in Free Solo, I skipped this rock here, and just went straight up. She's not cooperating at the moment. If you watch my Another Crab's Treasure LP. When you're down in the bleached city, there's a point where my character just like slides rapidly across it. It's an example of a very old graphics problem that no one has solved. Reason I bring that up is, I want to go up here, is that when Ava was acting weird on that corner over there, that's kind of a similar issue to when you start sliding, when you're inside of like a little V, you just go vroom, straight down like that at like a rapid acceleration, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And what I said in the video, and what I think is true, is that Nintendo has just started avoiding those kinds of slopes, because they also, you could do it in Mario 64, which was, 25 years ago, and they still haven't fixed it. And if Nintendo can't fix a platforming issue, good luck. If their solution was just don't do that, but that's why I say graphics is some of the hardest problems to solve in computing. I'm glad that I don't work on Unreal or Unity. Or NVIDIA, rather. That would all be on, like, driver? No, it wouldn't be driver level. It is still software, but I also learned CUDA programming in one of my efficiency courses. And so the software side, CUDA is the NVIDIA programming language for GPUs. And so the software side I know is how you handle those kinds of calculations, but you have to know the NVIDIA hardware, you have to know the actual like instructions that the GPU receives in order to code that stuff efficiently. And that's the kind of stuff that Unity and I already have a curry strip, so that's the kind of stuff that Unity and Unreal are out there doing. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference. I should just scrap these fireworks. There is a place where you can use them, but it's quite a ways up the mountain, and I think you can find more before then. Oh. Oh, bear-proof box. Oats. All the non-perishable food will be up here. That was interesting. Where am I going? Waterfalls? I want to say that's like where I used to go, but I think I would have had to change my route way sooner if that was the case. So, now we're gonna go up this way. Right here? Will that work? Surely there's a safer way. This? It's dark, so I have a hard time seeing. I think this will actually be safer, though. It can be tempting to spread your limbs out to try and like better distribute the force, but in situations like this, you want your arms to be close together and have them serve as like a single grip instead of two separate ones. Don't take any of this advice in actual rock climbing, just by the way. Although ultimately, all of rock climbing is just a physics equation. Loud water. Oh, I see. You would go through here and then... Oh, okay. Okay, I get it. But then I would be going up right here. Yeah, we'll do that. I usually do climb up right there at the waterfall, but this looks much safer. Thought she would have stood up here by now. Maybe not. Maybe there isn't enough room for her to stand here. There we go. Get that crimp there, and she is actually crimping that with her thumb. Oh, okay, yeah, you can grab that. That was not what I meant to do. That seems okay. See, I'm literally forgetting that pittons are a thing. Like, this could be saving me a lot of time and stress if I would just do this instead. I don't even have to use them, but now if I fall, I won't die. Free Solo, I guess, is an accurate depiction of what it would be like today in our world to climb a mountain by yourself, because Climbot would not exist in our world. I have seen a video of someone free climbing up a sheer wall before, and the person filming it was terrified of them. Because if they slip, they're probably going to take you down with them. But some people just want that thrill. A part of me wants to say they have a death wish, but obviously they don't. If they've done it long enough that they're confident in doing that, they must really not think that they're going to die. There we go. Alright. This, I believe, is the fish farm.
Hey,
Hello,
Climber.
fishies.
It's time for a fish pedicure. Seriously?
Sonic minigame, anyone? There we go. I don't even have room for it. She's probably gonna have to put it back. Yep. Oh well. Oh, there is a bivouac point right out here. It's gonna say it would be really nice if there was a save point here, because you get to like refill your stuff while you're cooking if you're near a spring. Oh, goodness me. So we lost about 10 or 15 minutes of progress at one point there, so I would say we're about an hour into the run. Nowhere near the top, I can promise you that. It's still warm, and the top is obviously frozen. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and cut episode 1, and I'm just going to keep on going. We'll just split it for the sake of pacing, so see you in a bit.